And welcome into On the Go. On the Go can mean a trip to Europe, or it can mean something right in your own backyard. Very luckily, if you live in the coverage area of this television show, in your own backyard is a real gem, the Alabama Shakespeare Festival. It's been there for about 25 years, maybe even 30 years now. We have with us today Andi Martin, and she is the marketing manager for the Alabama Shakespeare Festival. And first and foremost, we're going to be talking about the springtime, but if our viewers had not taken the time out to go see Ain't Misbehavin', they missed another gem.
I really think so. The actors were just incredible, all from Broadway.
Oh.
So I mean, just a real treat.
Amazing talent, amazing voices.
And you know, and you said a key word there, all from Broadway. I mean, this is not amateur theater by any stretch of the imagination.
Absolutely.
Now, occasionally we will have some local people that may have a little cameo in something.
That's true.
Or can have some roles, but on major things like this, you bring in the big guns.
We do bring in the big guns. We are entirely professional theater, and you know, we've kind of talked before about being a producing theater, which means we make everything in-house, from threading the wigs to building the set. I mean, everything is absolutely made in your backyard. So
That's neat. Well, what's coming up for our viewers to be able to come to, and as you talk about them too, if you'll say this one is age appropriate, because a lot of our viewers have grandchildren.
Yes.
We love to get these younger people exposed to the theater.
Well, we have one show in particular that's about to open, The Comedy of Errors. It toured the state and actually in the region, various schools. It's theater for young audiences. It's abridged Shakespeare, which means it's kind of condensed, to hold their shorter attention spans. And then after that, and this would be more for some of the older kids, maybe in 9th grade and up, but White Lightning, which is actually a world premiere. We are super excited about it. It's by playwright Elizabeth Gregory Wilder. So if you're familiar with G's Bend, that was one of her plays.
This is a Southern Writers Project?
Yes,
Okay.
yes it is.
Yeah.
And it's actually about the origin story of NASCAR. So you kind of get a little bit
a
of
lot of folks in for that one.
You do, and
Yeah.
it's a little bit of moonshine running and some romance and some adventure, and it's just a really just great story. I think it's a very very relatable story, because I mean, everybody knows someone who kind of talks about cars or something like that, and there's really something for everyone for this play. And then so that gets us to March, and then we'll have a Midsummer Night's Dream running through April, and it's a really great story. You've got some mischief and some fairies and a little bit of magic, and of course a love story, and it is a Shakespeare comedy. And then our big summer show will be Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
It is all ages appropriate, and believe it or not, even right here, close to March, we already have some performances selling out.
Okay,
Great,
that's exactly what I was going to say, because when you get into things like Beauty and the Beast, this is something that if you see it on that stage, it has a whole new magnitude.
Yes.
And don't hesitate. I mean, this is the end of February we're sitting here, but don't hesitate to get make some reservations, especially if you want to bring the whole family.
Absolutely. Those matinees are very, very full already, so go ahead, give the box office a call. You can check us out at asf.net if you want to look at dates and times, and certainly call soon. You mentioned the Southern Writers Project, and that's actually going to wrap up at the end of our rep season. So you'll be able to see the premiere reading of some new works, and they're all regional and Southern writers, Southern stories. So I mean, I think it's a really important thing to support. This is its 25th year. It's received numerous awards. Nancy Rominger heads up the Southern Writers Project, and I think it's actually one of the favorite things, and it's hard to say one of the favorite things in Shakespeare, but it's a real treat, and getting to come together and celebrate Southern culture, I think is so important as well.
It's interesting, because we were talking early on, people from this area will book an airplane flight, go to an expensive hotel, and hope to get a fairly decent seat at a Broadway musical, and they're going to, don't get me wrong, they're going to be great. They're going to be good. But for 10% of what it would take you to do that, you can have that same experience right here in Montgomery, Alabama.
Absolutely.
Very reasonably priced. And it's a very intimate theater. It's big enough, and the stage is big enough to really put on the production.
It's just amazing.
But there's not a bad seat in the house.
There's not. And I have never been to anything there that I would not walk out of there and just be so thankful that we have access to this. And you know, it's like so many other things, Jack. All of the good things that we have available to us, they continue to exist because we support them.
Absolutely.
So don't ever let this go by the wayside. Be sure that you go. Be sure that you support.
Good. And Andy, thank you so much for what you do. And just remember, it's asf.net. That's the website to go to. You get all the information, ticket prices. There are even some, I think, some group discounts if you want to bring a group in. So it's a true gem. It's right in your own backyard, and we'll be right back right after this.